What's up everyone? Welcome back to another video on TPL Locs. Today I want to recreate a subject that we've done before. I did a few videos on high top locks before, but I had to delete those, so now I want to make a different video about amazing high top locks. Let's jump right into it. I got some interesting looking pictures of people with high top locks. I don't know who they all are, but if you know any of these people, leave their Instagram in the comments below, because I would love to credit these beautiful creatures with high top locks. So we are starting off with this picture of this guy with a beard and high top locks. And I guess most of the men in this row of beautiful locks are gonna have this combination. And as you can see, he has shaven off the sides, but not very high. There is a variation in how far people cut off their hair or shave their head. So you can see that his his locks kind of go down towards the end instead of kind of like the top part. I really like the way this looks. I really love his locks. They're really long. He's got the bun going. He even got some lock jewelry going here. It looks great. One of the few women in this collection of mine. Unfortunately, I'd love to see more women with top locks. If you have top locks as a woman, tag me on Instagram, because I would love to review more women with high top locks, as maybe I will be getting high top locks somewhere in the future. Here we see that she has a cowrie shell in her hair, another video topic that I will be covering soon. And her locks are kind of similar to the previous person, where they're neatly retwisted. You can see her parts. And she also has shaven maybe 2 or 3 rows on the bottom. Although her locks don't really look very long yet to me, but that could be due to her hairstyle. Alright, some shorter locks and some little baby locks. You can see that they're not really formed well yet, but this is what I mean when people shave their hair all the way to the top. So his locks are literally only on the top of his head, not on the sides. And yeah, I mean, this looks cool. There's nothing else I can say. This looks amazing. It looks amazing. So some high top locks that are a bit more semi freeform, I guess. And he really fades his short hair into his locks, which looks quite cool as well. This kind of looks like an afro to me, but then with little locks here and there. And yeah, again, the beard and the high top locks. So these locks are a bit thicker. I would say they're medium-sized locks. And he also has them on the top of his head. And what's interesting to see is that the ones in the front are longer than the ones on the side. So I'm thinking that he first got the taper haircut, and then the sides will be shorter, and then it will be longer up top, and then that's how he started his locks. But they look very neat, also because it's a black and white picture, but yeah, they look awesome. Oh, this guy, I've seen this guy around a lot when looking for lock pictures, so I'm guessing maybe he has an Instagram that we should find someday and do a full review on his locks. But here he is at the beginning of his journey with little baby locks, little baby twists. And I think by now he has longer locks, if I'm not mistaken. Another picture that I see around often, he's got some jewelry in his hair as well. And he also has the longer in the front, a bit shorter in the back going on. So I guess it's just a natural progression of people with the haircut that they start out with, and then they start twisting or semi-freeforming their hair. Ooh, this is just done. I'm always struggling between the difference between a taper and a fade. Let me look it up because I'm not really fluent in a barber talk. So I always say the wrong version, but I think this is a fade. If I'm not mistaken, a taper is a bit longer and a fade is shorter. So he has a crispy hairline, I must say, unless they've used that, what's that called? That hair in a can thing. I'm not sure what it's called. And again, his locks, I love it how they look a little bit messy, not too neat. And then the rest of his haircut is it looks very neat and formal, so to speak. So some men get high top locks because they like the idea of being able to still customize part of their hair and letting the top do what it does. And yeah, I just keep saying it, it looks so awesome. Here, another incredible set of locks, which are still getting there. This, I think the in-between stage, the hair that hasn't locked fully yet, looks best on people with high top locks because it kind of goes with the style. So here we see some longer locks. I actually used to follow this guy on Instagram. He is a guitarist in a band. He's fully covered in tattoos, and he always shaves the side quite, I wouldn't say bald, but almost bald. And then his locks are actually very long. I think they are past his chest. And when he lets his hair go, you can't really see that he has locks. And yeah, that's another thing that I find really cool about this hairstyle, that it is very versatile as well. This is another person who has just started, probably. And I've been seeing a lot of guys who start twisting their hair, who have the same length, and then after a while they take it out. They use that as a hairstyle, but they take it out before they start budding. So sometimes it's hard to see if someone is really getting locks or if it's just a hairstyle. And here I think this is interesting because his locks look super uniform and very well rounded, if that's the right word. They look like they've been palm rolled, and to me this is what it looks like if someone uses a crochet hook to hook their locks, to kind of lock up their locks. The first time I got locks, I actually used a crochet hook as well, and my locks looked very similar to this right after I used the crochet hook. So it really gives a distinctive look to locks, and yeah, some people love it, some people don't, but I think it's cool to see that people are using different methods to get locks as well. Okay, here we got a freeformer. This guy I see around a lot as well when looking for locking pictures. He has a beautiful set of tattoos as well. I really should do an episode on locks and tattoos again, because I feel like there are a lot of people watching who actually love that combination, just like I do. And his hair seems freeform to me, and it's really messy, it's doing what it does, and I think that is exactly what it should look like, because that is the beauty of having freeform locks. None of them are the same size, the same width, and they just do whatever they want to do. So this guy is looking very sharp, and here you can see that he definitely shaved off most of his hair. So his locks literally only make up the kind of top of his head, and he has them in a bun, so they must be kind of coming down to his ears or something. And he's wearing a suit. That's another conversation that people are having, is can locks be professional? Can they look good in the workplace? Is it acceptable? And yeah, unfortunately, I believe in America it is not illegal to discriminate against people with locks, which in itself is ridiculous, because if you look at locks, there is such a huge variation between people with fully manicured locks to people who believe they should never wash their hair and get freeform huge matted lock. So yeah, that in itself is really ridiculous, and I think this is a great example of a sharp looking fella with locks, which is completely acceptable in my opinion. Anyways, let's not get political. Wow, this is a beautiful picture to start with, nice and black and white, and his hairline between his locks and his scalp is super sharp. Maybe they photoshopped it, but I really like the combination of his earrings, his nose ring, and the locks, the top bun. This is really, really awesome. I don't think I would ever go bald on the sides. I think I would still kind of have a few millimeters worth of hair to cover my scalp, also because it's freaking cold. But this looks amazing. It looks like art. So here are a bit thicker locks. I don't see very many people with high top locks who have really thick locks. So I think this guy is really unique in that sense. Yeah, you can see that he's had them for a while, because if you look at the difference between the color of the root of his hair and the rest, it looks a bit lighter. And maybe he has a few congos here and there, I'm not sure. Oh, here we got him from the back. Here you can see him with his hair up in a pineapple, and damn, it looks awesome. I think it looks best when people have their hairline kind of sloping downwards in the back. I really like it. I really like that. Okay, here we have another person with high top locks where the front is quite long and everything is kind of falling to the front. I can't imagine that this becomes really irritating after a while if it's constantly in your eyes. And there must be an in-between stage where your hair is long enough to kind of bother you, but not long enough to put in a bun on top of your head without pulling on it really tightly. Gosh, this makes me want to get high top locks. I'm not gonna lie. This is also a beautiful picture. I think the earth tone of his sweater and the sky make it even better. But yeah, again, he has a really sharp hairline between his locks and his scalp, so he didn't get a fade. And these kind of remind me of Daniel Caesar's locks. I'm not sure why, but these look like the same thickness and the same length that he used to have on the album Freudian. And yeah, looks amazing. Okay, here we go. Here we have the combination of locks, tattoos, and gauges in his ears. I used to have the same size, maybe a bit smaller gauges as him. I made them a bit smaller though, but this combination is just amazing. I really love it. His locks are quite long. They're not too thick, not too thin. They do look retwisted. They're not freeform. I think that would make it even better. But hey, it's not for everyone. The freeform life is not for everyone. And if you have high top locks, make sure to tag us on Instagram, because I'm going to be doing a subscribers with locks edition soon. So look out for that. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.